Hi everyone again. I made a lot of old friends yesterday, and congratulations to all of them for their still surviving in the winter. And I said to my team, it was more like a survivor party yesterday. And also I made a lot of new friends who may not be very familiar with us. We don't have a retail business. So they asked me, why you host a big event in Miami here? And I say, we always keep no profile in our industry. But now, I think we should speak louder and bring the confidence back. CTH Group was established in 2016, covering 3 business areas, including venture capital investment. Our VC arm, Fundamental Labs, has invested in nearly 300 portfolio companies, among which many have succeeded, and some have failed. However, we are grateful to all of them, and we learn a lot from all of them. We also cover the digital asset management business, named IDEC Asset Management, which is focused on institutional investors. IDEC is currently managing 17 digital asset funds with different strategies, including digital trust. We also run a large-scale infrastructure business, Atos Technology, providing different services for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Filecoin, and around 100 other protocols. I'm glad that we survived after experiencing the ups and downs of this industry in the last 60 years. We are lucky to survive. Thanks God for that. I never take it for granted. And today, I will share several key points that I've learned in the past 6 years, and I will spend the next 50 minutes elaborating on them. Now let's get started. First, never overreact to a cyclical event, including being over-optimistic or over-pessimistic. When I was very young, when I was a kid, I used to hate going to bed, especially if it was a wonderful day, just like today. It is because I didn't need experience, and I didn't want the day end so soon. When we grow up, we know that every day the sun sets and rises again, and tomorrow is another fresh day. You don't overreact to the end or to the start of the day. It's the same of our industry. When you see the price of Bitcoin skyrocket and the price of many digital assets go up almost every month, you have to understand that there will come a day when the music stops. And when you see the Bitcoin price plummet and the price of many digital assets stands at less than 10% of ATH, that's today, you have to understand that there may be a day when our little music trend is going to start all over again. Don't be over-optimistic and when you still enjoy the day. And also, don't be over-pessimistic when you are just about to give up. Trust yourself to be mature enough to understand that this cycle is no different from your wife's lead to replace her sunglasses and handbag every year. Some things are changed, and some things stay the same. While Bitcoin still dominates the market, the halving cycle, we believe, the halving cycle effect is still valid, except that we need to pay more attention to the macro interest rate cycle than before. Many people are questioning whether Bitcoin is still important and whether the output of Bitcoin miners and their selling pressure are still have an impact on this market. My answer is that halving cycle is still valid. Until the day Bitcoin no longer has the largest market share, and until we see lower or even negative correlation between Bitcoin price and other digital assets. The reason is that Bitcoin remains the most influential asset in the market, and the market cap of the entire digital asset market can be seen as the amplification of Bitcoin's market cap. The amplification comes from the fact that Bitcoin is the most important underlying asset and is the trading volume, liquidity, and the most important indicator in the overall digital asset market. The reason we need to pay more attention to the macro interest rate cycle that because the interest rate determines liquidity and the pricing of a risk asset. Bitcoin is a risk asset, with no doubt. This brings up another doubt as to why many people emphasize Bitcoin as a risk-averse asset. Because although we say the same word, risk, we are pointing to a different meaning. When we say Bitcoin is a risk asset, we mean the price of Bitcoin is highly volatile against the fiat currency or against the US dollar. We have seen this action of Bitcoin since Bitcoin was created. We have a different definition of risk when we say Bitcoin is a risk-averse asset. We value Bitcoin as a hedge against the fiat currency and other risks that come with the system behind the currencies. For example, we all know there are 197 sovereign countries in the world, and there are about 180 fiat currency in circulation. However, all fiat currency have the limitation that the purchasing power is highly correlated with the economy behind them and the exchange rate mechanism. When we choose a fiat currency, we need to take the risk. And we may have to pay for the mistake of the failures of the government and the central banks. Yes, we need to recognize that competition between countries affects the competition between fiat currencies. Needless to say, all of fiat money is held in well-risked commercial banks, and no one can assure these banks were not fair. Don't blame the young generation for embracing Bitcoin. Maybe it's time to take a different perspective of our planet and what kind of dignity and freedom people deserve. Therefore, Bitcoin is a risk asset and a risk-averse asset at the same time. We need to pay attention to the macro cycle because it's the rising and the ebbing tide in the economic world, and we all sit on the beach. Thirdly, we are still in a very young industry. Don't set false expectations and don't underestimate the potential of the industry. While I remain very passionate about our industry, many people have expressed disappointment with what has happened over the past year, which I totally understand. I would like to share some thoughts so they may not misjudge the maturity of the industry. The industry is still very young. There are still a lot of consensus that have not been widely shared. There are still a lot of infrastructures that have not been built, and there are still a lot of regulatory gaps that need to be filled. But there are by no reason to be bearish about the industry. All these could represent risks, especially for those who are used to the old school thinking or the ways of established financial markets. This can also mean opportunities, especially for those ambitious entrepreneurs, companies who want to build the next generation of infrastructure. The process of value creation is about creating innovative solutions to meet new needs or better solutions to meet existing needs. Currently, I see both opportunities in our industry. Too often, we are disappointed because we set unrealistic expectations. I'm sure that we still have a long way to go before we can meet the expectations that many people have today. Maybe it will take 1 or more 2 cycles. Maybe it will take 2 or more, 5 to 10 more years. But I'm also confident in saying that we will get there when many of the technology paradigms infrastructures, and solutions created by our industry. And we will bring a profound impact to the daily life of the people. It will make application more secure, will give people more freedom to allocate their asset, and will make the globalization more sustainable. And let's all work on this together. First, we need to evaluate large companies more prudently. The risk of a company doesn't depend on its market cap, its valuation, or market share, but on its risk source and its resilience mechanisms. Many people don't understand how a company valued more than 10 billion in the crypto industry can collapse within 1 week, and while many large companies are under threat of bankruptcy. My observation is that in many industries, the largest company doesn't mean the least risky company. It's just about, in many industries, the size of the company is not based on a short-term liquidity. So large companies will not appear to collapse so fast in other industry. But in our industry, a company can easily build up rapidly over a cycle, especially if it uses leverage very aggressively in an upcycle. In a sense, all business benefit from the multiplier effect and the leveraging in growth market. But the key is whether it can go through the down cycles unscathed. Very often, the answer is no. If the company lifespan is shorter than 1 cycle, then it often has not been stress tested at all. All crises are essentially crises of liquidity. And the spark of the size of the bomb is volatility. Because this is a highly correlated market, it's easy for us to miscalculate. And don't blindly believe in the big land or the valuation and the AUM of a business. Talk to their people. Try to understand their business model and their risk management model. Make your decisions based on a proper understanding, and don't get fooled by the big boats. At the CTH, we realized right at the start, and as a company, you cannot put all your eggs in the basket of Bitcoin performance, regardless of Bitcoin price. We remain very focused on this industry, but we have a business. We've set a business foundation solidly, and we build a very diversified risk management mechanism. We spend a lot of time refine our risk control mechanism and build our cash reserve. This ensures that we can stay with the industry for the long term. I always advise to my colleague, set the right goal. Don't set a goal for the short-term profit. Set a goal for how long you can survive. Try to survive more than 1 cycle, and try to survive in more cycles. Fifth, distinguish between early stage investment and early stage speculation. Spend more time understanding the development of technology and business instead of being a blind follower of the main strengths. We all know the failure rate of early stage investment is very high. It's interesting to figure out the reasons. There are only 2 kinds of investment failure: investing in a wrong one and missing a good one. We tend to stagger between these 2 kinds of mistakes. Essentially, there's only one way to reduce failure, and that is to distinguish between early investment and early speculation. The fundamental difference between the 2 is the logic you use to make decisions. Early stage investment means you understand the trends of technology and the business involvement and what breakthrough the market needs. An early stage speculator focuses on who's the next one to pay a high price from them, but unfortunately, in a lot of times, he will find his name on the last list. And we need to go back to the origins of the industry. We need to rediscover the inspiration that got us into the industry in the first place. We are here to support technological innovation and better solutions. Many mainstream investors that have made the same investment mistakes. Many because their blind zone are very similar. They flocked towards the hottest sectors because fundamentally they don't understand all the details on the target companies, and they don't consider the implication of investing through different cycles. Unless you can make sure someone else will pay for your loss. Otherwise, don't borrow their brains, so to speak. Always do your own homework. The last but not least, many people challenging. Is there any substance behind the Web3 conception? And what's this core value? And what we are still missing? If we look back at the history of technology investment, the skepticism of new technologies and the new industries, which is not new. All skeptics share one common trait: they lack patience. They don't participate in the creation, but they want to enjoy the convenience of technology directly. They hate the setbacks in the process of innovations. And they want the process to be linear. They want the progress to be linear and easily predictable. They want to skip all the gameplay and go straight to touchdown. Yes, they lack patience. People with more confidence are usually more patient. We have faith in the ground vision of Web3, and we have more patience in paving the road. We don't want to get into whether Web3 is a marketing buzzword. It's boring. We want to focus on the core values of Web3, which are very clear to us. First, build trust on transparent consensus and verification, not on anything else, which means the next generation of infrastructure. Secondly, build applications in a decentralized infrastructure and ground people, permissionless access. That's the next generation of applications. Third, enable people to own their data and asset, and people can exchange their value in a peer-to-peer network, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, and when you are. That's the next generation of asset. We have, thank you. We have seen a rough outline of the future for the above points, but the details are spotty. We need more secure and efficient infrastructures. We need more reliable and user-friendly applications, and we need a wide range of user portals. More importantly, we need better solutions. We need to combine the technological innovations and tools we have achieved to create a more practical solution. Overall, we are on the right track, I believe. We need more smart and capable entrepreneurs. The basic players have not picked up team yet. Thank you for listening. That's all I want to share today. I hope the program in the next 2 days will inspire you to be part of the wonderful Web3 journey. Thank you.